Do you have a C-section shelf? I've been there. Today's workout is specifically for my C-section mamas looking to heal and rebuild their core postpartum. It's only 10 minutes and all you need is a mat. Let's get started. Hey mamas, welcome to my 10-minute C-section shelf ab workout. We're gonna work from the floor, starting on all fours with some deep core and pelvic floor breathing to engage that transverse abdominis. If you need more in-depth breath work, check out my C-section recovery plan. I do that before coming to this workout. Now let's come down to all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. And we're gonna take that deep breath in, engaging or releasing core, in filling up that diaphragm. Exhale from the bottom up, engaging that pelvic floor, pulling the belly button into the spine and letting those ribs come down. Let's do that again. Inhale, releasing, filling up the belly, the ribs, full body expansion, and then exhale. That's where we engage on that exhale. Keep going. Make sure you're not clenching your glutes, clenching your jaw, clenching your shoulders or neck. Keep everything else relaxed. You can also do this standing or seated, but I show you this so you can really see that belly breath, that full expansion. Good work. We're gonna move on to an all fours arm extension. So come back to that knees under hips, hands under shoulders. We're gonna do the front arm, shoulder height, thumb up, and let's alternate sides, back arm. You may notice right away you need to take your knees a little wider here for balance, and that's fine. We want to make sure as we shift weight from hand to hand, we don't shift the hips too much. So we keep that work in the core. Nice and slow here. We want to make sure we place that hand down right under the wrist, or right under the shoulder rather. And as we move, again, we're keeping that core brace, that deep core pelvic floor engagement here. It's okay to wobble a little bit as you shift weight from hand to hand, that's normal, but we don't want to collapse or start to shift weight out of the core. We want to keep that body weight forward and rest. We're going to move on to this time a leg extension. So if you brought the knees wider, bring them back in about hip width apart. We're going to start with that front leg, extending, leading with that heel, bringing it down, and switch. Back leg. So you're driving through your heel, but it's a gentle lift, squeezing the glute at the top. We're aiming for about hip level here, keeping that belly button to spine. And again, trying to minimize shifting the weight as best as you can. Hands, again, under shoulders. We want to keep that core integrity, core pressure on. And rest. We're gonna move on now to a bird dog. If you need to, shift into a child's pose. So the bird dog is an opposite arm and leg extension. So we're gonna put those last two moves together. Starting with the front arm, back leg, square everything to the floor, simultaneously lifting the arm and the leg. Nice and controlled here. Again, thumb is up in the hand, driving through the heel of the foot. As you lift, engaging that deep core pelvic floor, you can even move slower and take longer breaths between each rep of this exercise. So you could inhale, exhale, then lift every time if you'd like to. Take it at your own pace. It's a great workout if you're newly post C-section but have been cleared to exercise, or even if you're a few months or years out, it's still gonna benefit you. Okay, let's move on to our backs. Carefully roll from your side to your back. We're gonna start with the knees over the hips. We're gonna push the heels of the hands into that front knee. Lower back toward the floor. The opposite leg, we're gonna take it out to 45 degrees, back in. Let's repeat that. Out and in. As you're moving the back leg, you're pushing through the heels of your hands and pushing your knee into your hands. So it's an active push here, as you move the back leg. I know that's a lot to think about. If you need it broken down, just focus on that push first, then add the leg. The other important component is you're keeping that core engaged. Pelvic floor is zipped in and up. Back is pressing toward the mat. It doesn't mean it's not going to move at all. There's a little curve, but it's pressing down. We're actively engaging those deep core muscles. Keep pushing, hands into knee, knee into hands, and rest. We're going to do that same thing other side. So you can see it's a very involved movement. We're using all those muscles. Okay, opposite hands, pushing into knee, knee into hands. Let's move that leg in and out. So about 45 degrees should be plenty. If it's really not difficult at all, you can start to take the leg a little bit lower, but I really want you to focus on that knee position. It's 90 degrees over the hips, and that active pushing of the knee into the hands into the knees. That's what's really creating that core pressure here. If we were to bring the knees in closer, that would take that pressure off, make it really easy. So, of course, we don't want to make things easy. Just kidding, but we do want to make it effective. Keep going, we're almost there, nice and controlled. And we're gonna rest here. Okay, now we're gonna advance. We're gonna take the legs up and then extend them to the sky. So hands can be on the floor, palms up or down. I want you to re-engage that core pelvic floor. Take the knees up, stop them over the hips, extend them to the ceiling, back to the hip level, and then all the way lower down, slow and controlled. Let's repeat. So up over hips, full extension, over the hips, and tap. Move as slow as you need to, especially as you lower those legs. Right here, I want you to feel that pressure in your core and use it to your advantage by really pressing that low back toward the floor, using that deep core pelvic floor to control it. You can even put your hands on your hip bones here, whatever helps you focus on using those deep core muscles. Anytime we add some movement with the legs, the core has to work even harder to stabilize, even in this position. Rest. All right, we're going to move to a bent leg abduction. So we're gonna take the legs away from the body, starting with knees over hips. Again, we want them right here. If it helps, you can push your hands into your leg. We're gonna take one leg out and bring it back up. Repeat other side, out and in. So knees over hips. You can use that push of the heel of the hands if you want to here, or you can place them down if it's too much. But I want you to focus on that back. Again, pressing toward the floor, core engaged, slow and controlled. You don't have to drop your leg very low to the floor. In fact, I don't want you to, because I don't want your hip bones to shift off the floor. I don't want that lower back twisting and leaving the floor. We're just taking the legs away from the body, and that challenges the core and the side glutes, which, of course, those glutes are the biggest muscle in our core. Last couple here. Good work. All right, carefully roll onto your side now. We're going to go to a side plank lift. Now I'm going to show you a few variations. I want your elbow under your shoulder, your hip in line with your elbow. We're going to start first just lifting the hip up and down. Knees are forward, heels are toward my butt, and you're just lifting up and down. Now push through your forearm and keep your shoulder away from your ear here. We want to really lift through that underside of the waist and the glute. That's right. So if you want to, you can look up and lift that hand, or you can go to the next level and extend the leg with it. But we're relaxing all the way down. We're keeping that hip engaged every time we place it down. So we're not totally collapsing and losing that control here. We're staying engaged, lowering with control. And rest. Carefully flip around to the other side. Again, elbow 90 degrees in line with the hip, knees forward, heels toward the glutes. Lift, lower. So from the underside of that waist, if it helps, you can even place your hand there, but we're not pulling. We're not using that hand to pull. We just want to think about the underside of the waist, the obliques, do the work. And then of course that deep core pelvic floor is engaged every time we lift, in and up. Now I'm assuming you know how to do the deep core breathing. If you do not, and this is your first time doing this workout or one of my C-section workouts, go back to the C-section recovery plan. That's gonna set the foundation for this workout. So this one is a little more advanced than that workout, but still appropriate for C-section moms. But I want you to really master those C-section recovery exercises before this one. And rest. All right, guys, that was it, 10 minutes. I hope you enjoyed that. This one is great to do a few times a week, and be sure to check out my channel playlist. I have a whole set of C-section specific workouts if you're looking for more, and I'll see you back here for my next workout. You may have noticed I've changed up my workout space a little bit. I added in this large exercise mat from Yogarilla Workout Mats. I truly love this product, and I don't endorse something that I don't love. It's made with premium materials, so I don't have to worry about damaging my hardwood floors. Also, you can see it's quite a bit larger than the standard yoga mat, so it allows for bigger movements and more space. Again, when you're working out with dumbbells, you're doing HIIT. Even with my core exercises, I love it because I don't have to worry about my back hurting as I work out on my hardwood floors, and I don't have to worry about damaging my floors either. I've got a discount code in the link if you're interested for 10% off your purchase. Again, that's Yogarilla exercise mats. Love these mats. You will not regret it. Honestly, I wish I had gotten one sooner.